You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Hello, welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. It's Michael and just me and Victor right now.
Good evening.
And neither of us put a lot of time into Skyrim. Yeah. We were just talking about, but there was more on the Oblivion stuff, which it seems like it's like almost 100% certain at this point. It's
I haven't been following that. Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, it seems like they're. I'd watched a few videos on it. Who is it? Is it Mr. Matty is the one who
I know of him,
he had
yeah.
Todd on, or he had I believe he had him on a while back. But anyway, it seems like it's most likely slated for summer, like
that'd be cool,
June or something like that. So, yeah, so it looks like it's full-fledged Unreal Engine remake of the game with some changes to the combat and stuff like that. So
I gotta say, I'm super excited about that. It's
like yeah.
It's a game that I never really imprinted on. That it never really. I know you and so many other people in the group have and thousands and thousands of other people who love the game, and I get that. I had such a bounce on parts of it, and I'm really looking forward to this because I really want to play through it.
Yeah. No more potato heads.
Yeah, that's a big one. The combat is I don't know is there any scuttlebutt on whether they've updated the combat?
So the I guess speculation or informed speculation seems to be they've updated like the archery, which was obviously pretty clunky.
It was janky, yeah.
The blocking is going to be more it was compared to like Souls-like or something like that, where the blocking is more efficient and more useful, or and what was the other, or more like I think because this was all stuff from those the court filings that came out and all that stuff where a lot of this had leaked from or like Assassin's Creed trilogy, like the Ezio trilogy style, adding some of that style of combat to it. So
it's interesting, to sort of look at that in terms of like gaming history, the progression from say Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, and similarly, although the years don't quite match up, from say Witcher 1, 2, and 3, and if you look at the combat animations in particular in Witcher 1, it's like you're running around like this the whole time, right? Which is really annoying.
Oh yes, that's true. Yeah.
And that's kind of, there's a crossover there with Oblivion. It just really wasn't very satisfying to play, for me anyway. That's so yes, I'm truly looking forward to a sort of a more modern set of animations and smoother animations and good combat. It would be, or even if it's the same progression, if the mechanics are better, it'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I would I guess the fear is I hope they kind of keep this. I know the leveling system is a little more complicated than like current leveling systems that are essentially, pretty, like even like the Skyrim one is pretty basic, straightforward. There's not much.
It's sort of simplified. Yeah.
So I have a feeling that's going to be simplified from what it seems like, but I mean that will be seen.
So you mean that like that plus minus thing, and there was
well, you know how you had to like you had the minor skills and major skills in Oblivion, and there's certain ways of maximizing the leveling very specifically, where if you didn't do it in certain orders, it didn't work out real well.
Uh,
I know Juan was excellent at it. Like
yeah,
he was like an amazing, like amazingly efficient at leveling in Oblivion.
and probably Colin too. I remember he played a lot
Yeah,
of that
yeah,
game.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there was like a specific way to do it. It wasn't just like going blindly and level whatever skill you feel like leveling at the time. You kind of pigeonholed yourself a little bit to start the game. So
Yeah,
I mean, I can
yeah.
see them wanting that to go away because it does make a more fluid gameplay and allows you to change on the fly in the middle of a game without starting over too, or the middle of a character without
Yeah, I
starting
guess that
over, I
would
should
be
say.
too bad to lose because it is an intricate. Yeah, I never got it very far into the science of that. So I was just, I just want more fluid gameplay. If the
Yeah.
mechanics of the progression stay the same, that's fine. I'm good with that. It's something to learn,
I wonder if they'll
so
keep I would hope they keep the same audio and all that. The same
voice
like
actors,
voice
etc.
acting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because you have Patrick Stewart, you have
yeah, yeah.
obviously we were talking about
Johnson, yeah,
Wes Johnson. I kept
yeah,
thinking Anderson, who
yeah,
obviously had the
yeah.
horrible
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Wes Johnson had the horrible news with the health concerns. So
Yeah, just
over
today,
the
I guess.
weekend, yeah.
Yeah, or the weekend. Yeah.
Who was of course Shogorath and I think a couple other characters as well. But yeah,
Lots.
I mean, I
I
would
think he
love.
did all. Didn't he do all the male?
Oh, that's right, the guards, right?
All the guards. Yeah, the whole
That's right.
shebang. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, a ton of stuff on Oblivion. So yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
I put some money into the GoFundMe, which is now like well over $150,000. I think
yeah.
they've raised for it. So good.
Which is like a week
Yeah.
hospital stay in the U.S.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fair point.
For those of you who don't live in the U.S., that's
Yeah.
But yeah, that's and like piggybacking off of that, I think that might be like all this Oblivion news might be why. Did you see the concurrent players on Steam for Skyrim this week?
No.
It's as high as it's been since SE dropped.
Wow.
Since Special Edition dropped, which was what, like at this point 9 years ago, something like that. Special Edition was before Anniversary Edition.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm trying to remember what year that was. 16, 15 or 16?
Yeah, that's 9-10 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so most concurrent players since that time.
That's insane. Why?
The Oblivion news, maybe people sparking their interest in, and just as an entry point, Skyrim, like at this point, is much more, much easier to get into than hopping in. While Oblivion is on Game Pass, and I could hop in and play it at any time and love it because I played it when it came out. Like someone new, it's probably for them like going to a Morrowind almost.
Yeah,
it probably feels like Morrowind to them, like Morrowind feels to me. Yeah. Even though Morrowind, I was probably in my 30s when it came out, I didn't play it, so it just feels, it only feels that way because I didn't play it at the time, not because I'm young enough for it to be old.
No, I'm the same way. There's stuff that and there's stuff that would as you're progressing through, you play and you move on. Yeah. And you get to something better and more fluid, et cetera, and you really don't want to go. That's the way I feel about some of these games.
I agree.
I feel no nostalgia for them, whereas my kids often feel a lot of nostalgia for the games they played when they were kids. Of course, I didn't play video games when I was that age because there weren't any. Yeah. So they feel a lot of nostalgia, and they still do. Sean and Kate in particular play a lot of games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and stuff like that. They get a big kick out of those games, and some of them are great, but I just not me.
Because it wasn't your time period. Yeah. Like I definitely can get into those because I played a lot of the sim games and stuff like that as I got older. Because I was still in that range, but and even like those style games even give you a little bit of the Atari feel almost, which is what I grew up with. Yeah, obviously more complex than it, but it's that top-down view, just a very basic, simple.
The 8-bit stuff, and I got I'm trying to remember what they were playing recently. a ton of really cool games. But there was one that they played a fair amount of not too long ago. 2D side scroller sort of. Oh, there it is. Kingdom Two Crowns. They played that for a while. They were totally into that, but then they got back into something. They were playing. Was it Satisfactory? That's an older game, which I played. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. Anyway, they've been running around all kinds of stuff. I've just been stuck in Valheim again. So
yeah. I did play a little bit of my character from last time, the fire and ice warrior. I played a little bit more. I'm still going through. I did a little bit more of the Civil War on the Stormcloak side, which I'm still doing that, and just bounced around like cleaning some of the stuff up there. I'm nearing the end of that. I think I'm up at the. I did the Rift. I'm up north now. I think I finished. I'm up by Winterhold, I think. Did I finish up there? Or am I near Solitude? I must be near Solitude because that one heads towards Solitude, I think, last. But so I'm up that way now, finishing that off. So
yeah,
I have a few quests left in that.
Yeah, I was following this Mage Knight build that we talked about the last time, and I finally got to, is it Folgunthur, which is where you get Chrysamere. And the Chrysamere is sort of central to that particular build. And then I was kind of casting around and thinking, about the build and what they had talked about in the video. And so I decided, and this leads into our feedback. I decided to go ahead and start Dawnguard. So that's where I because I'm also using these mods as I forget what it's called, as you choose or whatever it is, where the mod doesn't remove the progression, but you have to ask specific questions in order to progress through the quest.
You have to. It's almost like a prompt.
It doesn't automatically prompt you to go on. So the main quest, if you go to Balgroof to warn him about the dragons, he'll say, "Yeah, thanks a lot. Now I got a city to run. See ya." And so you have to, and then you have to figure out that you have to go to Farengar and ask him a leading question about wizards, et cetera, and dragons.
And then that'll spark the.
So I had to figure out how to get Dawnguard started, which took a while.
Oh, geez, because he's just not showing up and asking you.
Right. So you actually with this mod active, you go to Dayspring Canyon and you follow the young kid, I can't remember his name, into the fort, and you witness the same interaction between he and what's his name?
Oh, Isran.
Isran, yeah. And then it just stops. It's like, looking around, what's going on?
Everybody wanders away.
Yeah, the poor vigilant guy, runs, goes off, and then Isran sort of just fucks off, so. But I figured that out. I eventually got Serana. Anyway, so and that's where I got Serana. Went to the island, left her off there, and I went back, and I just and then I kind of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play Valheim for a while, and that was about 3 weeks ago, and I haven't gone back to Skyrim since, and that's fine. I'll go back.
Same. Yeah, I was thinking about hopping into Oblivion actually before the remake comes out, since that's going to be whatever, possibly in June or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I might hop in and play some of that because I haven't played in a couple of years, and I usually like to hop in every couple of years and start a new character.
Awesome, yeah.
Go through it. So
yeah,
it's always fun to go through. I've just been in Minecraft, just doing very basic things, building villages and machines, and mining and stuff like that, just mindlessly in the mornings before work and stuff. So it's been a like a Zen thing. But you were talking about Dawn Guard. So we did get the feedback from Mark, which truly appreciate. It's been a while since we had some feedback. So it says, "Hi guys, longtime listener, first time writer. I've logged 3,200 hours on Skyrim and never beaten it. I hope by sharing the start of my playthrough with you that I might actually find out how this game ends." Which is funny because you remember Steven from Skyrim Book Club also famously never finished the main quest. It's amazing. Yeah.
You go ahead, sorry.
The amount of hours people will put in and like do it in very different ways and not.
Oh, totally. I think
it's great.
And I think I've probably gone over 4,000 hours now since 2011, and I've only finished the main quest maybe 3 times in all those years. And I would say to you, Mark, you don't beat Skyrim. You just play it.
You just play it. Yeah. This is fair.
Yeah.
My setup, I'm running an altered version of Novus 5, which is a monstrous PC mod pack.
That's a Wabbajack pack, I believe.
Is it a Wabbajack one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah.
With upwards of 2,000 mods. I've added some roleplay mods alongside it, including Dragonborn voiceover, which uses a voice like The Witcher's Ciri to speak almost every line of dialogue. Take
cool.
notes. That lets me keep a journal. Serana dialogue add-on. I opted to start my character right on the border in the Rift near Fort Dawnguard using Skyrim Unbound. Away, Come Away is the main inspiration for what happened to her parents. But we'll get there somewhere around level 20. Meet Gwyn, a young Breton eager to show her adoptive father, Isran, that she's ready to explore outside Fort Dawnguard's walls. Isran is exceptionally protective of her, even though she's been well-trained in swordplay, sneaking, and is just beginning her studies in alteration. Her first equipment includes the Iron Spell Knight armor and a 2-handed sword, lovingly called the Bastard. Here's how her story starts. And a little side note, let's see. I'm academically trained as a composer, so I had a great time arranging some of Skyrim themes for the audio. Thanks for the years of great Skyrim content. Yeah, this feedback is pretty cool.
Cool.
The audio that's coming, really, really well done. So really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see if I can remember how to play it. There we go.
I should have known Isran would be furious. I thought he'd be proud. I really did. I just didn't realize how much anguish it would be for him to see me trying on his wife's armor. She must have been a spell knight of considerable power. The thing practically hums with an arcane elegance. The iron plates bolted to the leather are a bit rusted, of course, but the thing has been so carefully preserved. I wonder where the yellow comes from in the cloth belt. Is that the gold of Whiterun that I've read so much about? Was she from Whiterun? How I wish Isran would ever talk about her. But of all the things in this world, the horrors, the brutes, the mysteries, she is who Isran is most reticent to speak of. It fit me perfectly, almost like I was his real daughter, almost like he raised me, instead of finding me in the wilds with nothing but the broken hilt of a greatsword. I thought that trying on this armor might show him that I'm my own person, and not some lamb to protect. Of course he'd hate seeing someone wear his wife's armor. Of course we'd spend dinner not looking at each other. Of course he would send me away, even when that vigilant made his way up to the fort. Not a single visitor in 10 years, not a peep out the world beyond the pass, and now I don't even get to hear his tale? Surely he's got a good one. There's more blood on him than in.
Isran, Karset is dead. The Hall of the Vigilance, everyone, they're all dead.
So the Vigilants are totally routed. I watched my father from the ramparts, studying his face. Every fear and every belief of his became true and real. And then I watched him send the poor Vigilant away. I won't just sit here like he does. I won't waste this entire life hiding in the rift while the world out there suffers. If that Vigilant says they're under attack and Isran doesn't want to help them, then I'm going to. and I'll wear his wife's armor if that's what it takes.
Yeah, that's some production there.
That's good. Really well done. Nice arrangement. Mark, you have a little Vaughan Williams going on in there too. I like that. It's good. Yeah.
I love how Ollie came in yowling right as it started, so we'll have that in as well.
Well, I'm thankful that I just shut my microphone off because my phone started to ring and I forgot to turn the ringer
I did right
off,
after Ollie came walking in, right as I hit play, and was like, it's like, you're so quiet, so nice.
That was great, and I really look forward to if you do more musical arrangements. I would love to hear if you do a little arrangement of From Past to Present, which is probably one of my favorite pieces of programmatic music ever, not just in the Skyrim score. It's just a great little piece of music. So
yeah. Did I just turn off my thing? Yes, I did.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, really, really good. I like the story start.
Excellent.
Yeah.
3,200 hours. I think all of us, or at least you and I, are definitely in that range plus or over it, most likely.
Oh, easily. Yeah. Between 360 and PC and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I've played on, 360, PC,
Switch,
Xbox One, Xbox One X, or Series X, Switch as well. Yes.
Yeah. Steam Deck.
You played on Steam Deck? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I played on PlayStation also.
My refrigerator. Yeah. My phone, my Wi-Fi bird feeder. I believe I played there as well.
Alexa. I played on the Alexa.
That's right.
Remember when they had the they had the little bit of gameplay you could play on the Alexa back in the day?
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone who has an Alexa. I forgot about that.
Dear me.
Go off. I haven't used one in so long that I don't even think about them popping off anymore.
No, mine answers to computer now. So.
That's good. Yeah.
And she's downstairs. So. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I'll probably going to end up building a new character once I kick off again, just because it's going to be like probably a month in between me playing the last one that I had all these plans for, that I played, a good 20, 30 hours in and did a bunch of stuff. But you know how that goes. You step away from it for a few weeks and you're like,
yeah.
I'll probably just start something else.
Yeah. The guild is off the lily after a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm like in that phase right now where I'm just like trying different types of characters that I didn't use a lot or didn't do a lot. So I'll probably got to mess around with that and then mess around with some Oblivion, like I was saying. But so Valheim, you were playing Valheim, and that now has all 6.
Well,
areas,
it has
or 5,
6 of the supposed 7, I think. I'm not sure.
It's supposed to be 7. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the next one is supposed to be the Deep North. At least that's what everybody's calling it. I don't know if that's what they're eventually going to call it. And I don't know if there's anything more after that, because it's still technically in early access. So the big 1.0.
Oh my God, is it?
Yeah, after 5 years or whatever. So it came out in 21. Yeah, I think it was 2021. And it's still, I mean, it's a wonderful, vibrant game. So, but it's another one of those games that you can just sort of endlessly play because it has such a wonderful sort of easy to hard progression system that you can just kind of take to any point you want and then just keep it there. You just run around and do stuff. So it's, I wouldn't necessarily call it a masterpiece, but it's close to it. It's a great game. So so yes, so there's the original 4 plus 2 more biomes, so 6 now, increasingly difficult. I think played at normal or above the last 2 biomes, perhaps even for some of us, maybe even too difficult. They're very, very hard.
Yeah.
When played on normal and above, they're really difficult. And for younger players and people who are really good at that sort of stuff, they aren't terrible, but yeah, it's tough stuff. Some of it's brutal, and I think one of the things in Valheim that is tough is the death penalty.
Yes.
And I forget how many updates ago they added a selector, area to your opening of the game, so you can apply sliders at will to each instance of the game. And so you can turn down some of the penalties because when they're really high, they're punishing.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was playing it and I was at the, what is the one, the mountain biome?
Yeah.
And I was taking on the boss there. And when you die, it's just like so almost like impossible to get back to your stuff. And
yeah, that's right.
Like, it's like, oh my, it's like.
Yeah. And not only does the game take away all your stuff, so you have to do a naked run back, but it assesses you a steep penalty to your skill points. Yeah. So you lose a lot. So yes, it can. And so if you get into a situation, which I have been in, where you're sort of, say you're trapped inside a tomb or a crypt somewhere, and you died in the midst of a melee, and you keep coming back and going and trying to recover your stuff in the middle of that melee, which is still going on, and you die 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times, and now your progression is all shot to hell. Yeah, it can get pretty frustrating. So you live through some of those, and you play a few hundred hours of that, and then you finally say, okay, yeah, fuck that shit, and you start messing with mods or changing the sliders, and and I think the devs have been sort of good about tolerating that, and and you have a chance to use the dev commands to just turn that all off, or use mods to turn some of it off, or you can just play in creative mode and just build shit, which is one of the most wonderful things about Valheim, is living in these beautiful biomes that they created, and just build buildings and run around and collect stuff. It's the ultimate dopamine rush. It's just like anticipation forever. So I have the most fun doing that, and I've been playing with, as I always do, mods for the game, and the mods for Valheim are really, really quite good, and then there's some decent texture mods and some things that allow you to plant stuff anywhere. So it's a lot of fun. So
while I don't want massive building in Skyrim, I would love the option or a mod to be able to do Valheim style building there. Like if I wanted to play where I didn't want to, building the Hearthfire homes is fun and all, but it's not the same, obviously, as say Valheim is. If you could somehow marry those two, I don't really want it to be part of the game. I just want a mod to be able to, what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Because while I loved Fallout 4, I felt like the building kind of overtook the game at the end of it. Like the settlement building kind of overtook the game after a while.
I think you're right. It kind of did, and I think if you want, I do think there was a choice there. You could allow it to or not, and then you could also sort of buy into sim settlements, which is an amazing sort of achievement of a mod, akin to Legends of the Dragonborn. But I agree. You could sort of get lost in it, and I did a few times.
I did too. 4. Yeah. Where I just kept building and building and building, and I'm like, wait, I haven't really done any, like, not that I have to do anything to feel like I did anything, but yeah, where you just want to live in the world or whatever. But
yeah, it is a problem. You sort of reach a sort of a point of stasis, I guess, is the best way I can put it. And the same thing happens in Valheim. You sort of,
yes,
I get to a point where I've spent so much time in there just sort of collecting resources and building shit, and I haven't even gotten past the second or third biome to kill a boss, or I don't really give a shit. And then I sort of say, okay, I've had enough of that now. I'm going back to something else. That's good too. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that I would hope that the devs would love that somebody could keep coming back to their game and just enjoy it their way.
Yeah, doing it in different ways and enjoying it in different ways. Yeah. That's pretty much what I mean. Minecraft doesn't really have the same progression as these games. So, I mean, I wish they could add a little bit of that to make it a little more like as you expand out or something like that, you see more and more things or whatever. But I'll get in that mode where I'll like find a village, I'll build it up, wall it in, start doing stuff, and get to the point where I'm like, I've kind of done everything I wanted to do. I have like billions of every kind of ore or whatever at this point from what from all the stupid stuff I've built for just because I like doing it. And then I'm like, all right, I guess I'll turn on like cheat mode and do random stuff, and then I'll quit, and then I'll go back and start fresh again somewhere else in like 2 or 3 months or something like that. And that's my cycle basically is that.
No. I enjoy Minecraft, but mostly I've enjoyed it with my grandbits. They're all the three or four of them that we play together once in a while. They're a lot of fun, but they're actually growing out of it now. So they've moved on to other, Fortnite and other things.
Oh so, like Connor way grew out of it. So I just for me it's just like early morning, sit down on the couch while I'm drinking my coffee, kind of thing. Where there's not much thought involved other than what I already know about it. Skyrim's also good because I can pause it. So if I'm eating, I can pause it. that came late to Valheim, believe it or not. I mean, yes, it did because it wasn't there when I was playing.
No, and that was super frustrating. Yeah.
Yes, it was very frustrating because a lot of times I'll play in the morning before work, so I'll have like coffee and breakfast, so I'll like want to stop to take a bite. In Valheim, you can't do that. If you're anywhere in the world, really. You
can now, but you couldn't initially. Yeah.
But I mean, there's no like safe place to just stop. Almost like in your camp is usually pretty safe. You can stand around in there. But if you're out in the world in any way, like if all of a sudden like darkness comes on or something like, or a rainstorm comes and you're like, oh, I was just trying to eat.
No, well, so yes, and but even when you're in your home base, you could be hit by a raid.
The raids could come. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and yes, so now you can hit escape, and it pauses time completely, so nothing happens. So yeah, it's a big help.
And I guess it's got to be more difficult because that's a multiplayer game where, but I assume you can't pause it when there's
you can't do that on a server.
That's right. It was split between the servers and
right. You can only do it in a private world. But that and that not to go off on Valheim too much because everybody's heard it all, but I think that's one of the genius pieces of a game like Valheim. There's a few others like it as well where your characters are portable. You can take a character from one world and move that character with all of its personal inventory into any other world you want.
That was nice.
It's just it's such a wonderful kind of. So we've done that a lot, and Kate and Sean and I still have a server online that we play on once in a while. Of course, the big problem is whenever they do an update, a lot of that stuff isn't available in an existing world, so you have to start a whole new world in order to
you have to start over anyway.
Right.
Because it's not.
But
that's kind of a pain.
Yeah, it is. Other than that, I've continued to play a little bit of Pentiment now and then, which is a lot of fun. This Obsidian game that I talked about the last time, so I still recommend that. It's a great fun game. But that's really about it for stuff I've played.
Yeah, same here. If anybody else also wants, you don't have to do any orchestration or anything like that. But if you want to send in feedback or tell us about your characters you're playing or whatever, doesn't matter. Like any part of the game or whatever, totally feel free to send it in. And it's always great to have that stuff as part of the show. This was like some A+ like stuff.
Yeah, that was good. But it was really good, Mark.
If you want to just tell us about your character you're building or things that came up, or if you're a new player, because apparently like the player count is like through the roof again.
That really surprised the heck out of me when you said that. I was just like, wow,
I was
cool.
When I saw it, I was like surprised. It was one of those things that kind of just popped up that I saw, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, that's crazy, because that's been like, I mean, now we're at.
Jeez, it's been a long time.
14 years almost.
It's
it's 2025, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. so we're heading into 14 years. So
I didn't have gray hair. You didn't have any gray in your beard. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even running yet.
Yeah, that's right.
When it came out.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
See, I had to start running because I was sitting around playing Skyrim so much when it first came out that my back was wrecked from sitting in the chair. So, but to be fair, even when Oblivion came out, I had the disc in my. It was probably that was 360. I think it came out on, right? That wasn't original Xbox. I don't think. Well, I think it was an early 360 game.
It was 2007, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was one of early. Yeah. I think it was a 360. Yeah. So yeah, that thing stayed in my 360 for like 2 years straight. It never came out. It was like, it was pretty crazy, but I'm excited for that. I'll probably build a new character for next time. This one will be a little shorter. Life has been life, so not a lot of playing time, but always good to get the show back together, and hopefully we get some more feedback. Really appreciate it. Really, I love when we used to have tons of feedback. I understand the game's 14 years old now, so obviously there's less people playing for the first time, and like that experience you get when you're going through it for the first time, and it's like, oh yeah, I did this or that. Like, I don't know. Even if you're doing that, feel free to send it in. That's always awesome too. So
100%.
It could be something we totally forgot about because we played it 10 years ago and haven't done it since.
Yeah.
Because there's certainly stuff I come across like that all the time where I'm like, I don't think I've ever done this. And then I'm like, no, I probably have done it. It's probably just so long I forgot about it.
It was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't remember 5 minutes ago. So most likely I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
So. But thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you check out the Fallout feed and Butcher and Baker, Candlestick Maker in Space, of course, No Man's Sky, Dames of Game. If there's any weird Skyrim Runners crossovers, we have Will Run for. And if there's any extremely rare Skyrim Runners Cancer crossover, we have Pace Yourself, It's Just Cancer, which is my wife and her friend do. So those are all the shows. So thanks everybody for listening, and we'll be back next time.
Good night all.